So if you want to know a little bit more about that, if you want to know, I'm very excited to share my story with you guys about how or why I just. Hi guys, my name is Leslie Moore. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my very first YouTube video and I'm so excited to be sharing a little bit of my story with you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about why I resigned from my teaching position. So if you want to hear a little...
Oh, hell no.
Hi guys, my name is Leslie Moore and this is my very first YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about why I resigned from my teaching position. So if you want to hear a little bit more about that, please keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start with when I graduated high school in 2009. I graduated from Edison High School in San Antonio, Texas. And immediately after graduating high school, I knew that I wanted to go to college. College was something that I always wanted to do. My mindset at the time was, without college, I will be nothing. I will never succeed. You need college. So I went on my own to go apply to some local universities and I got accepted to a few of them. I was so excited. I went to go show my parents, all of my acceptance letters, and they immediately shut it down. They said, girl, you're not going to a university. That's too expensive. I don't know who you think is gonna help you pay for all of that. So they gave me the option to go to a community college. Now, at the time, at my age, I was thinking, no, I don't want to go to community college. Community college is, I don't know why, but for some reason I thought that universities were here, community colleges were here, and I did not want to go to a community college. But thinking about it now, I'm very grateful that my parents pushed me to go to a community college because I saved thousands and thousands of dollars by just going to a community college. If you guys didn't know, community colleges, they do offer a lot of the classes that a university would offer to you at half the price. So when you graduate, your debt is not going to be as high. I also want to add that I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't grow up exploring any sort of talents. I wasn't a dancer, I wasn't a singer, I wasn't passionate about nursing, I wasn't passionate about, engineering, I wasn't passionate about anything. All that I knew was that in high school, I was an athlete. I ran track, I played basketball, I played volleyball, and I knew that I wanted to do something, in connection to that. So I went down the list. There's a whole bunch of careers that you can choose from that have a connection to athletics, so I chose physical therapy. I went to my college advisor. She gave me my degree plan. She said, here you go, these are the classes you need to take. So I did it. I took all those classes. I got my basics out of the way. So that took me about 2 years to complete. And when I was finished with that, I was instructed to apply to a program. The program was a CAPTE program. It's a physical therapy program. I'm not too familiar with what that is, but that's what it was. At the time, all that I knew that it was very intensive. It required a lot of time that I didn't have. I was working, I needed to work. There was no way that I could not work in order to get into this program. Now, because of how intensive the courses were going to be and how much time that I was going to need to spend completing these courses, I decided that this wasn't going to be the path for me. I kind of needed something to go around my work schedule because there was no way that I was going to stop working. I needed to work, I needed to make money at the time. There was no way that I could stop working to complete this program. So I was back at square one. I went back to my college advisor. I said, hey, this is not the path for me. I know I just spent a whole 2 years, dedicating myself to physical therapy, but this just wasn't going to be the path for me. So I had to quickly reevaluate my career decisions. I had no idea what I wanted to do, right? But I knew that I had enough credits to start applying to a university, because I did the 2+2 program. It's when you do 2 years at a community college and then you do 2 years at a university. So I had already exhausted my time at the community college level. So she said, hey, you should start applying to some universities. So I went to go apply to some universities. I got accepted into A&M University. I went to my college advisor, and she pretty much, she was doing her job, right? She was doing her job. She doesn't know me. I didn't know her. All she did was she said, here, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. So me, I'm looking at everything, and all I'm thinking is, well, I don't know, like, I like kids, right? I like kids. I like working with kids. You know, I think I like working with kids. They're cool. So I chose teaching. I completed all the classes that you need to complete to become a teacher. I did Field Residency 1 program. Most of you might know what that is if you're a teacher. I did Field Residency 2. Then I went on to do my student teaching. So then after that, you're able to, you're graduating. You did your internship sort of type program. It's the student teaching, and then you're able to graduate. Okay, so I graduated in 2018. Now, the mentor teacher that I had at the school that I was doing my student teaching in, she told me that they were having a career fair. So I was like, oh, okay. So I went to this career fair. The school was there. The school that I did my student teaching was there. I prepared. Oh God, career fairs are so nerve-wracking. Like, I was so nervous, but I went, I tried to sell myself. The first 2 people that I talked to, it's kind of like a little mini interview. The first 2 schools that I talked to, oh God, I knew that I was not hired. I did so bad, I knew I was not hired. And so I went and I found the booth of the school that I went to go do my student teaching at, right? And so my mentor teacher's there, the principal is there, and there's another teacher there that I'm familiar with, that I know. So I'm standing in line, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and finally they get to me, and oh God, I'm so nervous. But I sat down, they asked me a few questions, and I feel like I did pretty well. I think it's because I was very familiar with them, and they knew me, so it was great. The little mini interview went great. So the principal then, you have to be recommended. So myself and a few other people got recommended to whoever they recommend people to, and I ended up getting the job. I got the job at the school that I did my student teaching in, and I was so excited. I was crying. I felt very accomplished. I felt like I finally, I have a career. I've been going to school for so long, and finally have a career. But let me tell you something. There is a lot that you don't learn in school about the teaching profession. Okay? Number 1, lesson plans are insane. Insane, especially for a first-year teacher. You are spending hours and hours and hours and hours creating these lesson plans. And prep time is not even included in that. You have your lesson plans, and then you have prep time. That's a whole nother beast, right? You're pretty much gathering all the materials, everything that you need, all the paperwork that you need for those lesson plans. In the lesson plans, you have I do, we do, y'all do, you do. So you're pretty much creating 4 different activities for one lesson. And you're creating lessons for math, social studies, science, writing, reading, right? And so you're pretty much creating 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, all these lessons for one day. So it's insane. Okay, so then I got hired, right? I started my first year of teaching. My first year of teaching was a breeze. And I just say that. I say that because my second year was not a breeze. But okay, let me start with my first year. My first year, I had about 18 kids. I thought it was a whole lot, but Lord, no, right? Okay, so I had 18 kids. They were amazing. It was hard. It was very, very hard. My kids were amazing, but the work was what made me unhappy. I was working 24/7. What I feel like I was working 24/7. We were going in at the time it was 8 o'clock, and we were staying until 4 o'clock. mind you, there's tutoring, of course, parent-teacher conferences. We had to have at least about seven parent-teacher conferences for each student. So that was a lot. Testing, we had to test the kids every 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks there was a test. We had to create those tests. It was just a lot. And just know that I was working a lot, and 98% of my time was focused on lesson plans and how I was going to test the kids, how I was going to get kids to the next level, how I was going to get my high kids, how I was going to challenge my high kids, how I was going to help figure out intervention plans for my lower kids. So, did I mention I was miserable? Yeah, I was miserable. And so, okay, so then the school year was over. I was so relieved that the school year was over. Finally, I had some time to breathe. Finally, I had some time to spend with my family. So because of my experience in the past year, I know it was my first year. I know it's harder for first year teachers to get the hang of things. It's your first year. But a lot of the times I felt like this is not what I was supposed to be doing. I love kids. I love kids so much, but just what you have to do, all the prep work, all the lesson planning, all the meetings, all the this, all the that, I was really thinking to myself if this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And no, it wasn't. I was making pretty good money. If you think that I didn't want to do, or I didn't want to continue teaching because of the pay, that's wrong. I was doing pretty well. I was doing pretty well with the money that I was given. I think because I was at a Title I school, our specific campus was given a grant, and so I was able to earn extra money from that grant. So maybe that was why, I don't know. I definitely agree that teachers deserve more pay. Absolutely, teachers deserve more pay. They are definitely not getting enough, especially for all of the work that they do. It's insane. It is an insane amount of work that teachers do, and they definitely deserve more money. Okay, way more money. Okay, so summer came around. I had a few weeks dedicated to working summer school, and then I had July to spend time, with my family and do whatever it is that I wanted to do. Which was very short-lived because obviously, if you're a teacher, you have to prepare for the next year. So I spent 2 weeks with my family. I did whatever I had to do, and then the last week and a half-ish, I had to start lesson planning. So a lot of people think that teachers have summers off. No ma'am, no. Teachers have to prepare for the next entire year. So let me just say this. Just the thought of me having to do everything that I had done my first year literally drove me into a depression. I didn't want to go back for a second year. Everybody was telling me, it was just your first year. What's the issue? It was your first year. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, this is just what it is, right? You'll be okay. You can go for another year. You got this, right? You're such a good teacher. You're such a good teacher. I heard that all the time. You're such a good teacher. You'll be okay. It was your first year. But no, deep down in my heart, I knew that teaching wasn't. Excuse me, plane. Sheesh. Deep down, I knew that the position that I was in wasn't where I wanted to be for the rest of my life. I remember sitting down we have these white tables, these white tables that the kids sit around, and they're whiteboard erased tables. And I remember just sitting there miserable, just thinking to myself, Is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? And not because of the kids, not at all because of the kids. The kids were so incredible. I feel like I'm more passionate about teaching kids like how to be a better person, or how to be a better friend, or how to help manage their emotions, how to be aware of their feelings, how to fix any negative feelings that they might have. That is what I'm passionate about. And you only get to do a little bit of that in the classroom because you need to make sure that these kids know what they need to know to take these tests every 3 weeks, every 6 weeks, every 9 weeks. Star testing. I was a star test grade. 3rd grade, that's when they take their first star test ever. And you need to make sure that these kids know what they need to know by the end of the year. And if they don't, that's on you. I knew that I wasn't being selfish by doing what I was doing, even though a lot of people told me that I was. A lot of people told me that, things like, I can't believe you can just leave kids like that. I can't believe you're doing what you're doing. I can't believe how a teacher can just up and leave their kids like that. I'm pretty much telling you that I'm a disappointment. And I know deep down that I am not a disappointment. I am anything but a disappointment. Anything that I do it with my all. I could be a freaking tree cutter. I can be a mopper. I could be flipping burgers at Burger King. Anything that I do, I'm gonna do it with my all. And the fact that I had all of those kids underneath me, you better believe that I was going to do everything that I could to make sure that those kids passed every single test, anything that they had to take, right? I always made sure that my kids were prepared. And so for people to say things about me that were not so nice, it was hurtful. It was very hurtful. So I knew that I needed to look out for me. I needed to look out for my mental health. I knew that I wasn't in the right space to give these kids everything that they deserved. Those kids deserved everything from their teacher, and I wasn't in the position to give those kids everything that they needed. So I knew what I needed to do. I knew I needed to step back and open that door, right, for another teacher to come in who did have that passion for those kids, and let that teacher do what those kids deserved for their teacher to do. So I submitted my resignation letter. Long story short, I was not happy, and you have to be happy in anything that you do, or it will not work. It just won't work. And I feel so fortunate to be able to do what I did because of the support of my boyfriend. He was in the back end witnessing all of the frustration, all of the mental breakdowns, all of the depression that I had, all of the negativity exuding from my body. He saw everything, and he knew that I was unhappy. He knew that I was not, in the right mindset. He knew I just wasn't healthy. I wasn't healthy mentally, and he's the one who encouraged me to go ahead and resign, and he would be there for me, and he would support me in anything that I did, and I'm so grateful for him. He's been nothing but an angel in my life. And he told me to, right after everything that happened, right after I resigned, he told me, hey, you need to go and follow, what's her name, Idillionaire on Instagram. You need to go follow her. And I'm like, no, that's not even what I'm thinking about right now. And he's like, no, give me your phone. And so he went up, he had me go search Idillionaire, and I read the first 2 posts that she had on her page, and I was like, oh wow, like dang, this deep, right? These quotes are deep. And so I scrolled, right? I got my phone and I scrolled, and I stopped, right? And I clicked on one. And y'all, let me tell you, man, God is real. That's all I'm gonna say. God is real, because I landed right here on this right here, and it's crazy that this fit right into my situation that I was in at that very moment. I literally started bawling because I knew that what I did was the right thing. I knew that I did what I was supposed to be doing. Let me just read this for you. Okay, it says, if you only knew where your current situation is taking you, you would be celebrating and saying thank you. Every single thing is working in your favor. Even the things that might disturb your peace is teaching you to come back to your center. All and any changes you're experiencing is expanding and refining your spirit to trust more, to believe, to let go, to surrender, and also to welcome. You can forget this when you're in the moment. You can forget that you are living what you thought, what you felt, and what you spoke into existence, which is true, because when I was thinking about resigning, I'm thinking no, I can't do that. I need the money. I need to save. I need this. I need that. But no, this is what I said I wanted to do. I said I wanted to resign. I said I wanted to quit. I said I didn't want to start a second year. And look where I am now. I'm not doing what I said I didn't want to do. Isn't that crazy? It says, you might not even realize on a subtle level why things are happening the way that they are until you look back and smile and realize that you needed that for your evolution. You needed that for your clarity and peace. You needed to reach new heights. That's all every situation is. The point is to keep reminding yourself when you are caught up in the midst of things that everything is going to work out for you. And there's more, but you're gonna need to go to my Instagram page to go and figure out what the rest of it said. So for those of you wondering, yes, I quit my job without having a plan B. My health was way more important to me than anything. My family is way more important to me than anything. And all that I know is that I'm happy now. I'm very, 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 very happy. And I've been through worse, and God has always pulled me through. So I know that whatever it is that I choose to do, I'm always going to be okay. I know that I'm not a failure at life. You only fail when you give up. And I have not given up on myself. I know that I'm going to do great things in my life, and I know that I'm going to be happy doing it because I'm going to make sure of that. I have no idea what it is yet, but that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of life. You never know what God has planned for you, but just to have faith in yourself and have faith in God, and everything will be okay. And so I just want to say that my channel name, or our channel name, my boyfriend and I, our channel name is Love More, and it was created to inspire people to exactly what it says, to love more. And so what I would want to challenge you to do is to love a teacher more. Despite me resigning from my teaching position, I know how much support teachers need, and I know how much support that teachers deserve. Okay, teachers deserve your support, and anything that you can give to a teacher, whether it be your local elementary school, your kids teacher, your local middle school, your local high school, please just go out and help. Anything will help. Pencils, erasers, hand sanitizers, Clorox wipes. Honey, we need those Clorox wipes, okay? Those germs are everywhere, okay? Spirals, chocolates, whatever, right? Whatever you can give is what a teacher will appreciate, because man, there's not enough support for teachers out there. So anything that you can do to love a teacher more, that would be great. That would make me so happy. And that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer every single one of them. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my first video, and until next time, I'll see you later.